I'm basically doing this video over again because one, I was sleepy and I was kind of eager to hear me yawning, which I knew was going to happen, but I did want to get it off your chest. But so I'm doing this just re-upload, and I'm actually edit, and I'm actually going to put some effort into this one. It's probably going to be my first edited video on this channel since how's my driving 500 videos later. First things, first things first. Lord Jesus, it was a good thing. Well, well, at least I know this is going to be edited. Uh, Damn, this sounds. All right. Good thing this is going to be edited. All right. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Or, after Valentine's Day, whenever you reach this. This has been weighing heavily on my mind ever since I did the um this has been weighed heavily on my mind ever since I did the podcast would be the After Party podcast. And it was about, you know, listening to black women and all that other stuff. I noticed that there's been a pattern, and this is not just from the heated debate that me and Material Life went through in that which I knew I was going to get into because there was just some shit I disagreed with, and I watched it. And I was like, well, I knew we was going to get into some shit, but it needed to happen. It was a health to me. It was a healthy, heated debate. It got a little heated, but it was healthy at the same time. But it was just like it needed to happen. But it's one thing that always pissed me off about these arguments is that black women, they feel like that everybody's telling them to settle. Now I've already did a video about um, what is settling to some women and all that other stuff, but it's just like who. But I never asked this question: who the fuck is telling y'all to settle? And if the bar is in, and the bar is low, or the bar is in here, who put it there? Now, let me just start by saying this because, like, in that video on Listen to Black Women, where the one with Ebony K. Williams, Elle Varner, L'Oreal, and Melissa Ford, it's like, Ebony K. Williams, she said things along the lines of, I don't want it's like that, we just don't want a man, that we just want the man we want. And it's like it's not too, and then Melissa Ford kind of like has a little tirade of, it's not too much to ask, it's not too much to ask, the bar is in hell, yada yada yada. Okay, now I want to realize at least all of them are at least in their 30s. They're at least in their 30s, and they're light skinned. Elle Varner didn't say shit, but and it's funny because not that many people knew who the fuck Elle Varner is, and I kept telling people that was the chick that's saying, "Can I get a refill?" So I kept making jokes about that. But a lot of people didn't know who the fuck. It was like, who the fuck is that one? It was like this Elvana. It was just like, can I get a refill? But anyway, um, who the fuck told y'all? Who the fuck? Now this is the question I say all the fucking time. Who the fuck told y'all to that like that to settle for bums? And you can't say it's us men because we're the ones telling you not to. It was like we don't. We look at y'all funny when y'all give your pussy up to men that is not worth your fucking time. That all he does offer you is dick. We never tell you to settle for those type of men. Y'all fucking to me, and this is just again, um, to me, I've seen women fuck with that. I've had a literal story of a woman like she had a good dude, but she kept having affections for the nigga that treated her like shit, and I had to tell her, "You're stupid. You it's like." And you had to. I told, in short, she wanted to. She wanted a Russell Wilson type of nigga, but she was trying to get that out of a future type of nigga, and it's just like those are two different type of niggas. You're not gonna get that, and that was her problem. It was like you got yourself a good man. It's just like either fucking fuck with him or leave him alone because you're wasting your time. That was my opinion on that. I remember like when she came. Now that is me coming to a fight. It's just like you got a good man. Why would you stick with that? Most men, if you know you got a good man and that nigga is like doing good, we'll tell you to stick with the good man. We will never tell you to be with a man that is not worth your time. Even Kevin Samuels, this is like I understand. Like those women are highly delusional because some of those women they get their bodies up to men that's not worth their time. In their words, it's not worth their time. They don't make that much money now. They want a high value man that makes over six figures or some shit like that. And Kevin Samuels is just like these men don't want you. Some of y'all use and like as harsh as he was trying to paint that picture. It's like some of y'all use goods. Some of y'all is just like some of these men don't even want. It's just like if I had the option, I could go get someone 10 years younger than you because most of these women are in their mid 30s and they just feel like they could just get some type of nigga to just take care of her. And Kevin Samuels had to shut that down. Like a lot of people say, now the only person I ever heard to really like settle was Pearl. And like I said, and anybody who knows me, I hate the word settle. I don't like the word settle because, and I tell everybody, don't settle, compromise because you should at least get something out of it. If I'm, and like at the end of the speech, as I said, as I repeat myself at the end of the speech, I don't. I do not want y'all dating bums because a lot of women think that when we tell y'all, I don't want to say settle for less, but like your standards are a little bit too high. That only like what you're looking for is like 10%, and it's like 90% of women want those 10% of men because of your hypergamous nature. It's just like like the chances it's not slim in between. Now a lot of young women think, oh, there's no chance. We never said that. I said it's not likely. It's not likely. You want a 6 foot like somebody like a lot of people do is a 6 foot tall, 6 inches, 6 foot 6 figure nigga and all that other stuff. And it's just like y'all want a nigga 6'3" and make 100K or 100K and up and you know he pay all the bills and so you could live the life of leisure and then it's just like y'all is just and then we're sitting here as men and logical men we're telling you hey the way the economy is and this is like the way everything is set up that man you want is few and far in between and not only is going to be you after that man, it's going to be you and a bunch of other women that's after that man. And he, as that man, he has the option. You're choosing it. He's choosing you. You're not choosing him. And even if he's like he chooses you and you go like think about it, he's gonna be like, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. I'll go with the other option. and not give a fuck. And not give a fuck. Now and then, some of you women, y'all come in and it's just like y'all have 2 or 3 kids, overweight, and this is coming from an overweight nigga, but yes, 2 or 3 kids, overweight, and like the baby daddies that y'all have babies with, they don't even make 100K. And then you could say, "Oh, I'm young and dumb and all that other stuff." It's just like, and then men see that. It was just so you was irresponsible with the pussy, and now you want me to fucking take care. You think niggas is You think niggas is really gonna want to take care of that? Even if you do got a personality, that's a red flag to us. Why are you after me now? You couldn't get with me when I was fucking up and coming, but now you want me? So yes, niggas look at that, and this is why it's like we don't call you gold diggers unless you really show your fucking hands. And then that's the problem with a lot of you women. It's just like, and I say it all the fucking time, you women are terrible at poker faces. Or you at least when y'all show your hands before y'all even get to the nigga. If y'all like to be an actual gold digger, it's not gonna tell you they're a gold digger. They'll at least play the game a bit. A lot of you women this generation, y'all don't play the game. Y'all don't have no, and it's probably because a lot of these niggas just like want to just throw money at you for no reason. So it's no reason for you to play a game. But when you're going after the 100K nigga or the high value man that everybody says there is, and I'm not a high value man. I tell people all the time, I am not a high value man. I'm on my way. I can see myself on my way to getting there, but right now I'm not there. I'm honest with myself, but it's just like it's like those niggas, they don't have to choose you at fucking all. And this is what we tell, and like a lot of y'all just like, oh, you shut me down, you get called dusty and all that other stuff. It just no, bitch, we're being logical. It's like no, it's just, and we don't have this, but no one has ever said go date a bum nigga. Go date a nigga. It's like I don't think no man will ever tell you go date a bum nigga. Go date a nigga with no ambition. Go date a nigga that's not gonna do nothing but fucking use you for your time and being. What man has ever said that? Like, what man wants you to be with someone that's going to like use up all your energy and then just be a waste of life and all that other stuff? No man ever said that. If anything, just like as an average man, just look, I'm an average dude. If I get me an average girl and then we can just, make our monies together and all that other stuff, and I can move myself in a position where you don't have to like work as much or work at all, I will do that. A lot of dudes are like that. It's just like, hey, if I could just get to a point where like I can work, work to pay the whole bills and all that other stuff, you do that. But even then, those people built to that. A lot of you women forget that, and then maybe because like we live in a lot of single houses and a lot of black women at to work, and then we can look at history. Like black women has always worked. I'm sorry, ladies, but like that life of leisure you talk, black women has always worked. It was never. I'm not gonna say it was never for us because there was a time where black communities was flourishing, and then as you know, the fucking houses got turned out. But most of the time, black women worked too. We was out in the fields. This is why like we are more respectful to our women the than motherfucking counterparts and the motherfucking counterparts. So you get that. In my opinion, you get that. If the bar is and also and I want to talk about what Melissa Ford said. If the bar is in hell, who said that there? Now, men, I understand. Like there's people we will fuck, and we lust after, and then there was people who we marry. It's usually not the same person. and a lot of you women don't get that because, but which is kind of like even though we tell you this all the time, it's just like it's Chinese to y'all. It's like I've seen y'all. It's just like, oh, y'all be after these Instagram models and y'all be double time. It's like they don't want them, and we tell you all the time we don't want to marry them. We just they just nice to look at. It's just like, yeah, you want to fuck one of them. It's just like if I had the chance to smash one of them, I could. But it's just like I'm not marrying none of these hoes. We tell you that. It's like look at the. I'm telling you, some dudes is just look at the people, and that doesn't mean that. And just because she's an Instagram model about it does not mean that he will choose her over you. Half the time, it's just most of the time, it's just like it's not worth it. It's not. It's not worth it. Now, some dudes, they're dumb. They'll fuck Instagram model just to say they do it and all that stuff. They'll fuck up a marriage. But I blame that on not really seeing legit happy couples on TV because that's where I've said we have shows where the baby mamas and the baby daddies fighting, or we got songs like "Fuck my baby mama," "Fuck my baby daddy," and all that other stuff. It's just like dumb shit like that. Like going on other days where it's just like even in TV shows where you see a two-parent household where like the mother and father are lovely. They're lovey-dovey and all that other stuff. When you see them kiss, be like, ew, it's so disgusting and all that stuff. Now it's just like, oh, fuck you, nigga, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So where's the bar? Who put that bar down there? Now, father done said it's both of us, and I can agree because when you ask me who's at fault, the black community, I say everybody is at fault. It's not just black men. It's not just black women. It's not even white supremacy. It's everybody at once. It's like we have a whole. It's like, and once everybody take accountability, I feel like we can move forward. But some people just want to stay in that victim mentality. Don't get me wrong. Are black people's victims? Yes, we are. We are victims, and like history shows that we are victims. I will never deny that. We're like, if anybody's been the like victims of anything, yes, black people are. But I always tell people it's also us to get us. I don't want to say get us out that bootstraps, but we to do for self. It's like we can always do for self. We can always support each other. We can put money into the communities. Like we can have our own Gucci. I'm one of them dudes that's just like, yo, we can have our own little Gucci, Louis Prada, and all that stuff. You don't have to go to the white people's establishment. I'm from DC. We used to make our own fucking clothes. I didn't. I like. Um, I know Salviato's Italian, but we had fucking. I had shooters. All I think all days. We are ones and some shit like that. If you know anything about DC fashion, like we had our own clothing lines. It's just like now people want the Birkins. Now people want the. It's like what is the black? What is the black component of a Birkin? Like we can have high end fashion too, which I tell people like black people can have high end fashion too. We can do this, but I'm rambling on. I don't want. I do not want my women to be with bums. And I know I said this before, but I just want to reiterate: I don't want my women to be with bums. And like that was this was one of the problems that me and B had, where she was just like, "Oh, I feel like you're defending men just for the struggle." And I'm like, I had to make that clear to her. I said, "No, there's dudes out here that's just like they're making their money. They're making it's like them women make probably make a little bit more than them, but they're not bums. It's just like look at the relate, and then it's just like some of you women just tie too many stuff on the financial part, which it is important in a relationship. I do get that, but how many relationships where I know where a man just pay for everything, or he does everything, and a woman is still miserable. We know relationships like that. And I told her, I said, I just had a homegirl, she just got divorced because she was just in a situation like that. Man paid for everything, she was still fucking miserable. Due to the fact that she never really loved the nigga. She never, and I told her that. I said, I knew that relationship wasn't gonna last. She was like, how did you know? You never really loved the nigga. And yes, I know you don't really marry for love of duty, but like it was something about him that every time you mention him, it's just like like you're annoyed by him. It's just like I don't think you even liked the man. It was just like he was doing stuff for you. You know, he was just fulfilling the need. But it's just like you finally got. She initiated divorce and all that other stuff. And it's just like it kind of proved me right. It's just things like that I knew. But let's just say it like this. I don't. This is like I want black couples to thrive, and I want women to understand this. It's just like the whole like majority like if you watch the and I'll put the link in the description box. Most of the arguments was because of what Tyler Perry said, and I was like, a lot of you women was focusing on the wrong thing. Where he was just like, oh, Tyler Perry just wants you to pay the light bill, and I was just like, a lot of y'all misunderstood the message. And this whole message was, find somebody that make you happy. It's like somebody that y'all can be happy with it. Look, we understand like bills get paid and all that other stuff, and I will be the first to tell you I don't think like even though women they're the breadwinners, they're not really just don't want to be the breadwinners or some shit like that. As a man, I do feel like we protect the vibe, but sometimes it's just like it takes time to get there. And men, and I tell people like all the time, unless you're in that entertainment business where like your money comes fast, men, our money comes slow. It's just like our money, like we got to build up to that, and sometimes it takes a while for it to build up to that. But once we get to that position, like we know that like that's where we hit our financial peak and all that other stuff. We're going to be taking care of our woman. But a lot of but a lot of you women are very impatient. A lot of you women are impatient, especially like you're seeing, you know, you based your life, you're trying to be the next Jay Z and Beyonce and all that other stuff, and it's just like there's only one Jay Z and Beyonce, and even then, ISB, how many power couples you know? It's like I will give you Jay Z and Beyonce. I said, other than that, how many power couples you know? And then I was mentioning, and then like, and she couldn't name one. It's just like that is my point. It's just like power couples is just like few far in between, and it's just like, and then she mentioned like what Joe Bezos, Jeff Bezos, and it's just like that man was a billionaire, multi-billionaire. His wife divorced. Same thing with Bill Gates, and Bill Gates had a fucking mistress on the side. Like she could have been happy, but they divorced. Obviously, it wasn't financial. So what? So what the fuck was it? Like agent and like the whole thing with MDK Williams. It was just like that, which was she was on the panel. That was another one of our big ass arguments. It was just like who she married and who fucking like discussing our marriage, and even then, even when I brought up like quotes of what she said, and then she was just like, "I'm not it." It was like that's that Taurus, that's that Taurus, and I don't. It was like side note. If you one of those people that never believe in like astrology or like uh, if you don't believe in astrology, I understand. But at the same time, go into a room with a Taurus. They're all stubborn. You have never like when I arguing with a Taurus is one of the most difficult things you can fucking do. Everybody that I know is a Taurus with, I get headaches after I done argue with them because they're so stubborn and they're so fucking hard headed. It's not just material life. I have two sisters that are Tauruses. Both of them hard headed, lovable people, lovable women, but they're both hard headed in their own ways. Right? I have a male friend that is a fucking Taurus, hard headed, stubborn. just like that. And he believes it's just a pseudoscience. I said. I had to tell him, I said, bro, all you Tauruses are stubborn. And I tend to tell him every Taurus I met is stubborn. I have another male friend, call him my son because he looks like me. That boy is stubborn, hard headed, and like arguing. And like the one time I had a big ass argument with him on some different other type of shit, like that shit was stressful because he wouldn't fucking listen, and he always tried to play the victim and all that other stuff. It was like I'm not trying to hear that shit, but that's another story that I was like, if I feel like telling it, I will tell it. But if you ever met a Taurus, you know that you're going to fucking lose your fucking hair arguing with them because sometimes. Now, also back to the question, who told you to settle? This is like now you can look at some of these red pill channels, like I said, I know I threw Kevin Samuels out there, and I say Fresh and Fit, but the one thing about Fresh and Fit, they was showing you, and now a lot of these women are dumb. Let's just say it, some of them, even if they're just they. A lot of women on Fresh and Fit, and Myron said it the best. It's not the hardware; it's the software. You got to change the software for you to get anywhere. That was the problem with some of these women. Myron had to literally like had the delusion meter, or like if they ask her, "What do you want?" and the little woman literally goes like, "What you want?" and the type of person you want, and all that other stuff. It said only and it's a very low percent. He said that man the man you are looking for is like point zero something zero something. Like it was so many fucking zeros in there. It looked like it was bullshit. Basically, it's not that many men out there. What you're looking for specifically is not that many men out there. He had to literally show people. Like that was the one thing I always said. Like Mario at least trying to show people. Like he could be like straightforward and an asshole sometimes, but at least he's showing people like it's like yes, you a lot of you women the same thing, and a lot of it's like 90% of y'all want 10% of the men. Your other 80 is going to be shit out of luck, and they and like the one thing about Kevin Samuels is just like he was pushing for the average man. He said, "What is wrong with an average man? You women are average women. What is wrong with an average man?" What's wrong with both of y'all just working an average life and then building yourself up, combining your wages? We all know we live in a two-person economy. Yeah, you're going to have to work. He's going to have to work. Just combine your money together. You know, live a nice average life. A lot of and that was it. And that was his problem. It's just like he's an image consultant. That's the one thing I would say about Kevin Samuels. Is like he was the image consultant. He will put this in your face, and he will ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think you are? And he was just like he had his own little scales. He was just like um, 8 to Beyonce, 9 to Kelly Rowlands, and it was like Rihanna's of the world's a 10. It was like, so when you say you was an 8, it was like, so you think you up there with Beyonce. And a lot of these women think they up there with Beyonce. It's just like, no, you're average at best. And that's where the image consultant comes in. It was just like, and he tells you, he's like fit, feminine, and friendly. Now, granted, although Kevin Samuels did, push for women to get with average men, and all that stuff. And he had his own little Facebook page where a lot of them done hooked up and got married. It's just like he's literally put the results in. People still like side eye him. It was like no, he's put the work in. But but women hated him. But he never told you to settle. He was just telling you, yo, a lot of y'all are delusional in what the fuck you want. A lot of y'all are not what these men are even looking for. A lot of y'all are not even what these men are looking for. And you want these men, and then you just like you want a man to deal with that. Now, even me looking at Kevin Samuels Jones, I know that it's like his platform is really for high value man. And I've said, which I'm not. But even me as an average man, I'm an average man. I wouldn't deal with that. It's like what there's some of these attitudes that some of these women kind of like bring on. It's just like I wouldn't even deal with that. So what makes you think? If an average person wouldn't deal with that, what makes you think a high value man would deal with that? And that's what drew a lot of dudes to Kevin Samuels. It's just like whether they was on their way of becoming high value men or, just looking at things from their standpoint. It's just like, wow, a lot of you women are really delusional. So again, who put the bar there? If the bar is in hell, who put that there? Now, as far as like Ebony K. Williams is talking about the man she won, and this is another part that me and B was arguing about because it was just like I was saying, she is an agent of chaos. Because you done had men, because she was like, you done had men that you can learn from. You done had men that made more money than you. You done had that man that made less money than you. And then it will get to a point where no, it's just like, I know, I will ask you, what type of man do you want? Because if you had all these options and yet you turn them away, it's just like, okay, it's to a point where you gotta ask, what type of man do you want? What is the man do you want? Because in my case, Ebony K. Williams shouldn't be as fine as Ebony K. Williams is, and I'm not even being a simp because all those women are attractive. It's like whether you like the orange canary yellow hair that L'Oreal did, or the thickums of Elvana because she was definitely like super thick sitting there. Those are very attractive women. Ebony K. And I'm gonna say this: Ebony K. Williams, she should. It shouldn't. Now she will tell you she put her career first over everything, which is like most businesswomen. But at the same time, she shouldn't be freezing her eggs. She shouldn't be freezing her eggs. Point blank, serious. Point blank, simple. She shouldn't be freezing her eggs. She's going to have to get a surrogate mother. The brat had a baby. So, think about that. The brat's in a lesbian relationship, but even then, it was like when the brat popped up pregnant, everybody was like, "What the fuck?" I know I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like I hope the baby was healthy, but even I was like, "What the fuck?" The brat pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Like, but as far as Ebony goes, she wouldn't have the same thing with Kendra G. And Kendra G is by far she's coming around because she's been doing a dating show, and she's seen a delusion for herself to a factor where it's just like she's now like her patience is about to show to see Yosemite Sam. And she done seen some of the foolishness a lot of these women comment like, "Oh, when was the last time you been intimate?" It was just like 5 minutes ago. I just had sex with Kendra with the man. Why ain't you with? And then she goes, "Why ain't you with that nigga?" We just you ain't really It's just you see these women act like a bunch of childs, bunch of children. I don't. This is like I don't want that. I don't want that for my child. I don't want that for my family to know that other stuff. And a lot of them, it's like they looking too. Is it But overall, and I'm gonna reiterate this. This is basically overall thing. I do not want you women to settle. I don't know who is telling me. I want to like. I'm still trying to figure out where the right mind do you think that we're telling you that you think that we're telling you to settle. Where in the right where in the right mind do you think we're telling you to date bums? Because for some reason, and this is where like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to you women when we discuss this project, it's just like when we tell you that's like you're delusional niggas. Y'all go to the other extreme. It's like, oh, we want you to date a bum ass nigga, and we go, no, we're not doing to tell you to date a bum ass nigga. And this the same shit I had to fucking tell B. I never said date a bum ass nigga that's not gonna do anything for you. I said, but I also said, but if a nigga does 90% of the fucking like when a nigga has 90% of what you're looking for and he just don't have that 10%, are you gonna give away that 90 just for zero? It's like 90 0. And I told her, I said, most men don't even get 60% of what the fuck they want. And yet they're still with their women. Because they know it's just because some of them know that's the best they're gonna do. I don't think there's options, it's just weighing it, it's just understanding like the probability. Hey, just she do for me more than most people do. I'm gonna keep her around. And that's the thing about men. It's just like when we have a good thing, we got a good woman, or we know a good woman, we're gonna try to keep her around. I don't want you women to settle for niggas that don't do nothing for you. And I'm gonna keep reiterating this. I do not want nigga. There are men out there that will see you for what you're worth and will work with you. Hell, they'll even let you be the star of the show. You know, you want to be the face, they'll let you be the face. They may not make as much as you. Like I said, I tell people you probably make 100, 200K, and that nigga probably make 100K. It's like he's not a bum. He just don't make it with your money. In which a lot of people missed from that Tyler Perry thing where he said, "Your gift is not his gift." And like this is what I tell. And I remember saying this to B. I said, "What if that man he just want to be a teacher?" And he just want to like push you to like get them off the streets. Just want to teach them how to eat under some shit like that. You think that is like because a lot of people put the worth in financial things and put the worth in money and all this. And I'm like, but you got a man that's keeping these kids off the streets. He may not make as much as you, but he's keeping these kids off the streets. And like he's like putting kids in the right direction. It's just like you got somebody that do that, looking like a hero. Are you going to give that up? You got men that I tell women all the time, y'all got men out here that will worship the ground you fucking work on, walk on, that will treat black women like the queens that you are, and y'all overlook them. And then like when y'all try to go back to them, it was like, no, you didn't want me. I don't want you no more. And then like now you're like, I hate even doing this. This is why a lot of men go into their passports. And then you got stupid ass love gurus to talk about if you don't make this much amount of money, don't fucking date and all that other stuff. In which like some of this shit is valuable, but it's like you demeaning. Why are we demeaning average men? Everybody needs love out here. If we start and trust me, if we start demeaning each other, it's like no one's gonna be. It's like the system. I don't even think the system's made it. I feel like we're just doing it to ourselves. And this is I'm just speaking to black men and women directly. I understand this is a modern problem, but this is for black men and women directly. If we don't do something about it, this is just like you want to see more passport bros. You want to see more people marrying overseas, and then like black women's gonna be more lonely than ever. Y'all already lonely enough, and like I said, I don't want you to just find a man, but you got a man that's going to treat you right and he do stuff for you and all that stuff. Are you really going to let that man go? Because I know as a man, if I have a good woman on my arms and she does what I need, you think I'm gonna let her go? And that's all I gotta say about that. Let me know what y'all think. How y'all feel. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I am out. Peace. Hopefully, this will be better than what I originally put out.